So I just learned today about a second foot that I had in my attachments with my latest vertical feed from Davis. And what it is there's one that's your regular foot that you'd use for most of your sewing, and a second one for your ruffler. And if you see that little R, on there, that's the one you want to use for your ruffler. Now, I had no idea. I didn't know about that. I kind of wondered, why did I get 2 feet with this? Well, I thought I was just lucky. Well, there are actually some differences. And if you look at them, see if I can show this. If you look at them from above, and in the light, the ruffler foot has a little different shape to where this bar across here is. This is a smaller bar, and it's set back a little further for the ruffler foot. So the one with the R is the ruffler foot. This one is your standard regular sewing foot, and I had no idea. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I have been making these cute little ruffled plated scallops, or scallop plates they call them, and I used my regular foot and they seemed to work okay, so I didn't even have any idea that I was supposed to do something else until I read the instructions. You always want to read your instructions. And so what I'm going to try and do here today is show you how to make these cute little scallop plated trim using a couple of the attachments that came with my Davis vertical feed. So I will do my best to show you how I did these, because they're really cute. So let's start by looking at the attachments. Of course, there is the ruffler, which you can use for making regular ruffles, and you have to use it with this Scallop Plaiter attachment in order to get your little plates. I guess they're called plats. I'd call them plats, but plates is what they're called, and that's how it's pronounced. And this is your ruffler. Now the ruffler will go on the side by the faceplate and down to the base, and this part here will go over the needle clamp screw. This little knob here, there's a little raised knob. There is an opening on the side of the faceplate that wants to go into, and then of course this is where it'll slide in, and I'll show you how to set this on there. But it's going to go this way on the machine, and of course what it does is it moves back and forth. It moves that little toothed carbon steel fin, and with lots of sharp teeth, and that moves your fabric, and you can change the size that it grabs, the little bite that it'll grab with this here. So that's how that works. So that's part of this making these little scallop plates. Then there's this really bizarre, cool looking Scallop Plaiter. This is called the attachment. This attaches to the bed of the machine with this hole here and your screw. You need to have your big screw that goes, put your attachments on the bed of the machine. So we'll put that on, and I'll show you how. And it's got this hook here on this arm, this long arm that comes around, that's connected to this cog here. And this will go up and down using, it also goes on the needle clamp area. So I'll show you how that goes on. But as this thing goes up and down, it goes through that cog, and it moves this arm back and forth at little steps along with the ruffles being formed. So back and forth. Okay, so that's your Scallop Plaiter attachment. There's no numbers, no names or anything on this, but you do find it in some of the manuals in how to use some of the attachments. I didn't even see this listed in my original manual that came with this machine. I didn't even see this listed in there, so I don't know if this was something extra you had to buy or what, but anyway, it's pretty unique. I don't know right off of any other machines that do this specific trim, so it's kind of fun. It's a special, it's probably semi-rare attachment and a fun one, very different. So I'll show you how to set this up, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do this little version of these plates and how I went about doing this. So I'm going to describe what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you an example of doing it. Alright, so I'm going to first show you how to put this ruffler attachment on here. Now there's this little screw here for attachments that attach on the side. You just kind of crack that open, make sure there's a little washer here, make sure that's pulled out and is with this screw. This is going to go over the needle clamp, and at the same time you just move this guy in here. As long as you got your thing out far enough, go a little further, and there's a little hole back here that little nub that's on that attachment is going to slide into. You want to make sure it goes all the way in there. So now it's in there, there's no gaps, it's nice and snug. Now I'm going to tighten this up, and I'm on there nice and tight. So that's how you put the ruffler on there. Okay, so now we're going to put the plaiter on, the Scallop Plaiter attachment, this big old guy. And I found out you probably want to put some padding under this thing. It moves a lot. I actually did a little bit of scratching on my nice base here because I didn't have that on. So I'm going to put a little piece of felt here under it, and hopefully it won't scratch. But what you do, you want this little hook right here. This little hook is going to go over this needle bar like that, okay? And then you're going to want to find your hole that this thing screws into. I'm going to go ahead and screw this in. Down tight. And there it is. So I've got my hook over the needle clamp. It's out here. So kind of ready there. Now what I haven't done yet is you want to put your foot, your special foot with the R on it here on your machine. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to slip that back here and get that foot on. Oops, make sure I get it in the right spot. Probably shouldn't have my needle in. I do. Okay. Get it in there. That looks good, and I'm going to take my little wrench that came with it. This is the standard multi-tool that they give you with all these attachments with the Davis vertical feed. And I'm going to tighten this foot on. Oh, there. So what do we have? We've got 3 different special things we've got to attach in order to do these scallop plates. And so we've got our Scallop Plaiter, got our ruffler, we've got our special foot with the R on it. So we're going to try and do some scalloped plating here. Okay, so in order to do what I've done here, and you can use this for other things. I guess you could make these little scallop plates, if you wanted. You could make those on their own and attach them to something. But what I've done here is I've got a folded piece, folded in half. So this edge here is a fold, and these little plates is also a folded piece right here, and that's how you do them. That's how I did this, and I think there's other variations you can make, but I haven't discovered those or explored those yet. So that's what we're going to do. Now I found, and I think it tells you in the instructions to, I think they say a 1/2 inch strip here for your little scallops. This is actually a 5/8, a little bit bigger. I went as large as I could in order to get it into these slits, but you can't go much larger than 5/8. Now I found the easiest way to thread this thing through is with tweezers. And you just come in, pull this through. Now what you got to do is you have to open this up. And this has just a bar across it. So this part's going to slip underneath this. This part here will be over the top of this. So we're going to go in. Let's see if I can get my lighting a little better here. I'm going to go in. I'm going to slip this bottom half with the tweezers, because boy, it's tough. I'm going to do this under this opening. Let's see, I'll pull it on through a little more so I can grab this, because you can't pull it back and forth. Okay, there we go. Now you can see I've got the bottom part of this piece under this. Okay, so that's going to go under that, and the other part will be on over it like that. So you're going to wrap that over, but you have to have that split in half. Then you go through and under this last slit, and I found it easiest to do with tweezers. And to be honest, it's really the most easy to do if you don't even have this Scallop Plaiter attachment on the machine, but it's such a bear to get on. So there, now you can see I'm through. So I've lost this part. I'm gonna go open this up again, slit it in that underside. You can see this takes a little bit of messing around. This arm is real flexible though, you can kind of lift it. So now I've got it right. So that's going to go on under, and under the foot, and under the, I'm going to lift up here. I'm lifting up the toothed blade of the ruffler, and we'll slide that under it. So now you can see the teeth there, hopefully. Okay. So that's your plaiter piece right there, the plate piece. So that's going to be plated. And when you run this attachment, this arm's going to move a lot. It's going to move back and forth and in and out. And you don't have to do anything guiding it. It'll go on through on its own. Now you do guide your upper piece. Now there's my folded piece. I've got my folded upper piece. This is going to attach to. Of course, my fold is going to be facing this way, and I'm going to put this in this slot here on the ruffler attachment. So this just goes right in there, and pull that down, and it's not going to ruffle, so it's going to be on top of that toothed ruffler blade. So we'll go ahead and slip that on in. And get it under the foot along with the other piece. So I'm going to take these with my tweezers and just kind of make sure they're under the foot. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. And the only thing you really have to concentrate on once you get moving is keeping this big piece in this slot, all the way to the edge of that slot. The other thing, you're limited on this as far as the size of this upper band, how wide that can be, because this attachment will run into it. So you're only limited to about maybe 2.5 inches, or maybe 3 at the most. So here, we're ready to go, I think. So I'm going to move my camera, and I'm going to put the foot down. Your things are all held there now. We're ready to go. I don't have to mess with this. I only have to make sure it stays where it has, right up into that slot. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this to work. And I'm going to review real quick. We've got a top folded in half strip. This is a 2.5 inch wide jelly roll strip, folded in half. And we've got our 5/8 inch ruffle piece that's going to be scalloped. This is the ruffler. The plaiter is over here. So here we go. Oh, I know what I forgot. I did forget something. There is a special little piece down here, right in here, that this needs to be slipped under. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here, just as a little guide. Could probably be all right without it, but it just makes things more secure. So now you can see right in here, this little guide. Now this thing slips up and down on the ruffler plate down here. It attaches to it, and it came with that. So now we're going to go. Now I'm going to guide my upper piece, and I'm just going to let this little foot handle this lower ruffling piece. So here we go. So that's it. Here's what we have on the underside. Here's what it looks like on the top. Very cute. And I'm trying to figure out what I can use this for.